I wanted to talk about Jordan Peele's latest movie, Nope, which came out a bit ago now. I'm definitely late to the party here in talking about it, but I think it's a very fascinating thing to talk about. First off, I believe it's available to rent. I don't believe it's available on any. Oh, it's on Peacock now. So if you want to watch it on Peacock, if you have Peacock, check that out. You can also rent it off of Amazon and stuff. But definitely worth watching. I definitely would say right away to watch it. But I think there's a very interesting thing going on with Jordan Peele that I wanted to talk about, and that's kind of the main thing I want to talk about, and I'm doing it sort of in a review style. But first, yes, the movie Nope is a movie sort of about aliens. Hey, aliens are coming down. What's happening? That's kind of the movie. That's my brief plot summary of this. And it's fascinating because this is a movie that I think thematically works perfectly. And there's so much interesting little details going on throughout this movie that I was just really fascinated by the whole time. I really enjoyed watching this movie and really enjoyed those aspects of it. But I still didn't love this movie. I still think there are issues with it. And my biggest issue is the kind of main thing you're supposed to do with a movie, right? Or the main thing that they say you're supposed to do with a movie, which is, traditionally, what is a movie? Boiled down to it, it's a character tries to get something and you care what that character is trying to get. That's if you can get that done, people are going to like your movie. That's pretty much as simple as you can say. And in this movie, it didn't fully work for me. That aspect of it didn't really work, and I think that to talk more in a little bit more detail, I'm gonna go some spoilers about it. So let's just get into the spoilers now because I think that's gonna be an interesting thing. But before I do, definitely go check it out. Visual masterpiece, and really just a fascinating watch, even if you didn't love it like I didn't. But yeah, okay, spoilers now. I think the issue with this movie is throughout the plot of the movie, the goal behind it for Keke Palmer, and Daniel Kaluuya to a slightly lesser extent is to they're trying to take a photo of this monster that they originally think is a UFO, but is actually just a monster itself, which is kind of an interesting twist there. But so that's the goal. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And the whole time, I kind of felt myself saying, I don't really care about this. And they did give us reasons for it. They did do their best to, Jordan Peele did his best to get us to care about that stuff. But throughout it, I was kind of just saying, yeah, I don't really care if you get a photo of it that much. I care if you survive because I like you as characters. And so that part worked for me. When the monster was threatening their lives, then that stuff worked for me. But when they were just plotting out how they were going to get a picture of the monster, that stuff not so much because it wasn't really that fascinating to me. Even in the ending, when she finally does get a picture of the monster, which then kills it, which again wasn't. I didn't fully get what was going on there. I get that there's a metaphor going on, but it's kind of, again, going back to my main point of she gets the photo and she's all excited and all happy about it. But it didn't really feel totally earned because I care more about her just surviving, which she had already pretty much guaranteed she would at that point, than taking the photo. And that is the kind of the main thing about this movie, was the difference between all this great thematic stuff versus the actual character goals and all of that stuff, which just did not work for me. And it's kind of a thing where you don't have to make the character goals be the main thing. There's been plenty of movies that I've really enjoyed that the character doesn't even have a goal, really. I mean, you can do that. But if most of the movie is spent on me trying to care about a character's goals, I don't think it's fair to say at the end of it, well, that's not what's important. What's important was the thematic stuff, which, I don't disagree with it necessarily. I would still say that you have to find a way, if you're going to spend that much time talking about the actual plot itself, not just the story and the theme, but the actual plot itself, I have to care about it. I have to have a reason to care about it, and I just didn't really in this movie, which is why it didn't fully work for me the way that his other two movies actually did work for me. Get Out, everyone loves Get Out. Us was a similar example. I won't spoil that one if you haven't seen it, but it got some similar critiques of the thematic stuff, the metaphors, all of that stuff, the allegory for what it is. totally worked. Everyone pretty much agreed that that was great. But there were some people that had some criticisms with the plot itself and stuff. And, plot holes don't bother me as much as it bothers other people. So I still really enjoyed Us a lot. This one was my least favorite out of the three movies because of the fact that, I didn't care about the character's main motivation, which is kind of a simple thing. But if if that doesn't work, then you're just not going to enjoy the rest of the movie. Now, if you did care about the character's motivation, and again, I'm not saying that they didn't do things to try to make you care. It just didn't work on me. If it worked on you and you had a good time with this, you probably had a great time with this. There was a lot of stuff to love. The Steven Yeun character is it was fantastic. It was such a great performance and such a great, just unique thing to go there. And I thought that stuff all completely worked. Nope had some of my favorite scenes of the year. That scene where they all get taken up and eaten by the monster might be my favorite scene of the year. So there's some great stuff in this movie, but a lot of times I was kind of saying like, okay, but yeah, I don't really care if you succeed or fail here when the whole movie is set up as though, the whole tension is, are they going to succeed or fail at getting the photo of this monster? That stuff I never felt the tension in because I didn't care as much. So kind of goes back to if you don't do the basics of storytelling, the rest, even if you nail that, which Peele absolutely did, that won't work. But again, it's subjective. If you haven't seen it, check it out because it might work on you. And if it does, it'd probably be your favorite movie of the year because I think it would probably be my favorite movie of the year if they just did the basic stuff, but they didn't for me. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because, again, there is so much to like about this movie. There's so much unique things, and Jordan Peele, definitely one of the things I love about him is he's one of the few directors, one of the few filmmakers that actually gets people to go watch his movies just because it's a Jordan Peele movie. You don't see that too often anymore. The director who gets their name on the poster, that's very cool and very fun, and I'm very excited to see what he does next. He is one of the more unique directors working today. Everything he does just feels so fresh and innovative, and I'm very excited to see what he does next. Nope, just didn't quite have the appeal for me as his other two films did. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.